Band Geeks.
Band Geeks, described by many as the best episode of SpongeBob ever made. Whether it's the jokes, the musical performance, or the big, meaty claws! There's just so much to love about it. So many characters have their moment of recognition, and everyone plays their part in this little band we call life to help Squidward finally have a nice ending for once. But notice how I didn't say all the characters get their recognition, because it might shock you to hear that there are two fundamental heroes who don't get their recognition, and without their help, our main characters would have never succeeded in their quest to crush at the Bubble Bowl and send Squidly and Fancy Son out of the show forever. These two heroes hold arguably the most memorable scene in the episode, probably the first one you think of, yet their sacrifice is forgotten. That's right, I'm talking about the Flag Twirlers.
Flag Twirlers, let's move! Come on, move!
Now I know what you're thinking. How are these two the most fundamental characters in the whole episode? Isn't their whole point just to die in a comical fashion for the entertainment of the sick freaks in the audience? They know you think that's funny. They know you think it is. And even after they die, no one else thinks about them. No one mentions them or anything. Everyone quickly moves on. Incorrect! That is exactly why they're the most important.
With any story, you'll have your main characters, but you'll often find that the proclaimed main characters never actually do everything just on their own. Luke, Han, and Leia don't just destroy the Death Star without the help of anyone else. Aang and his friends don't stop the Fire Lord on their own. The Avengers don't stop Loki in the first film by, okay, we get the fucking point. They all get help from side characters and background characters that set the stage for them to be able to accomplish what they need to. But because they're not, quote-unquote main characters, we don't see their impact 99% of the time, so it's delegated a lore or throwaway lines to quickly explain something because we got a limited budget, we got limited time, we're all slowly dying of old age, get on with it. How did we get the Death Star plans? Some fucking randoms managed to find them for us or something. I don't know. Who knows who they were, but we got them. That's basically the entire premise of what Rogue One is. All those characters that die and the rebels that get slaughtered by Darth Vader at the end of that film, those are the Flag Twirlers who make the original trilogy possible. That one character in Attack on Titan, his entire character arc is basically, damn, I thought I was a main character, but I guess I'm actually a Flag Twirler.
Flag Twirlers, really spin those things! Flag Twirlers, let's move! Come on, move!
Coulson, when he gets stabbed by Loki, Homeboy is the Flag Twirler that brings together the entire team, and up until that point, he only has a few appearances. It doesn't matter whether they have 30 seconds of screen time or 30 hours of it, their contributions to the plot are invaluable. Hell, sometimes they have more important plot moments than the actual main characters, which makes you think, why aren't they focused on more? Why are they not considered main characters? Better Call Saul? Andor?
Think of it this way. Let's say you're in a class or something, right? And you have one student who you're used to seeing them there every day, even if you never personally interact with them. You've never once talked to this person or even interacted with them. You've never even looked at each other. But because they're there every day, you associate them with that thing. I'm going to go to this class, I'm going to see this person. And it's like that every day for, the 4, 5, 6 months, maybe even a year that you're in the class, And then suddenly they stop showing up one day. And you're not devastated by it or anything because it's like you didn't have any deep personal connection to them, It's not like, I had so many memories of them, but you were used to seeing them. And now that that factor is gone, you notice it. You might be surprised at how much you notice it, but you're like, oh, that person's gone. And even years down the line, maybe when you think of that, you'll still associate them with it. Their presence there was big enough that they impacted that memory for you.
The Flag Twirlers are the exact same thing. These two guys showed up and didn't really have much meaningful interaction with everyone else, probably just showed up for the free food and ended up flying into a blimp and blowing up. But for that 10 seconds of screen time, that was all they needed to make an impression. It doesn't matter if they weren't our quote-unquote main characters or if they didn't interact with them, because what their actions did had a direct impact on bringing the band together. They are the connective tissue, the people in the class you didn't personally interact with, but you felt their presence. Things would not be the same without them there. And sure, we'll never know our two heroes' names or really anything about them at all, unless you check out one of the fan pages or something, which will probably have their entire life written out as a novel, and then you'll wonder, how does someone know this and who is writing this down? But in the end, do we really need to know this stuff? With the brief glimpse of their lives, we were shown what they were capable of, what they stood for, and what they were able to accomplish.
And in a way, these two heroes represent life itself. Because in this world, you either twirl your flag, or you wait for someone else to twirl theirs.
And these two sacrificed their lives to twirl their flags for the greater good, knowing they wouldn't be able to hold the spotlight for long, and an octopus that wouldn't stop overworking them. God damn it, Squidward, please chill out next time.
And now one question remains. Are you a flag twirler? And are you going to twirl your flag for the greater good? Or wait for someone else to twirl their flag for you? I don't think there's any other way I can word that.